Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to talk about how to properly measure and ID a belt. To start, manufacturers sometimes stamp the ID number on belts. For example, this is the case with a lot of Nita's belts in their conveyor series. If this is not the case, or the belt is too worn to see the ID number, you have three choices. You can either send us a sample, take a picture of it, or we can send a salesperson out to you guys and they can use their sample catalog to determine what kind of belt it is. Now, let's get into how to properly measure a belt. So, when it comes to measuring smaller belts, you're going to get what you want to call a tape line measurement, which means you're not measuring the belt at all, but instead you're measuring the distance in which the belt goes around the pulleys. To do that, you're going to take your tape measure, start at a point on the pulley, wrap it all the way around, make sure to keep it tight. And where you overlap from the start is your tape line measure. And as you can see on this one, between these two pulleys, it's 125 centimeters. So, what this is this is going to be the inner circumference of your belt. And from that point, you just specify the thickness and the width and any other properties you need, such as materials, and we can go from there. Now, let's talk about how to measure a larger belt. When you get the tape line measure of two pulleys, what you're actually measuring is the inner circumference of the belt. However, sometimes it's not possible to get that, and when that's the case, you're going to measure the outer circumference of the belt. Now, what we have here is a smaller setup that you obviously could get the tape line measure, but we're going to demonstrate how to get the outer circumference for the cases where you have a long belt that maybe goes through multiple pulleys or is on two pulleys that are very far apart. So to start, you're going to make two marks, one right here, one right here, and you're going to measure the distance between those marks. So right here, we got 18.5 centimeters. Then what you're going to do is you're going to rotate the belt on the pulleys, make another mark, and again measure the distance, 18 centimeters. Keep rotating. And at this point, you see our starting mark, and you get your measurement between these two, and you get 18.5 centimeters again. You add your total. Where the outer circumference of this belt is going to be 54 centimeters. Now, we have one last topic when it comes to measuring and identifying belts. When it comes to timing belts, like what we have here, customers often wonder what kind of tension member cord is in their belt. Now, we have three different timing belts here, each with a different cord. One is fiberglass, one is Kevlar, and the other is steel. And from your point of view, you probably don't know which one's which. However, if you look at the cords, a telltale sign is what color they are. Kevlar tends to be a yellowish color, fiberglass tends to be brownish, whereas steel tends to be that metallic silver that you're used to. Now, when you have a steel cord, you need to determine whether it's stainless or not. If you're working in a very wet application, these cords tend to be stainless steel. However, there's only one way to truly determine this, and that's with a magnet test. For stainless steel, it tends to stick to magnets, whereas normal steel does not. Now that's all we have today when it comes to measuring and identifying belts. Come back to our next video where we talk about selling and quoting, lacing and lacers.